everyone, it is Kate, the Almost Book Doctor, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a TBR for the Battle of the Bands Readathon. Now I am the captain of the Beatles team. I'm very excited. I love the Beatles, if you didn't already know. I will link above a video that I did involving the Beatles where I gave book recommendations based on their songs. This readathon was created by Jake, the Bookish Drummer, who is also going to be captaining the Led Zeppelin team. And then our other two captains are Ian the Reader, who is captaining the Queen team, and Nico's Book Review, who is captaining the AC/DC team. So this is going to be so much fun. I love all of these bands. All of the prompts are based off of songs that are part of each band's repertoire, and there's a fun little game that's a part of the readathon. Reading a book from a prompt from your own team will give you 30 points towards your team. But if you read a book that's for a prompt for a different team, you actually cause their team to lose 10 points. So there's this fun back and forth thing, and you can really strategize with this particular readathon, which I find really fun. I think we came up with a really great system here, and Jake and Stacy are the ones to thank for this, so you guys are great. Now there are some rules to this readathon. One of them is that every book must be over 150 pages in order to count, and also we won't be accepting any submissions for manga or comic books or anything of that sort. You can do any prompt in any order that you want to. Mood readers, we see you. And you can do only one book per prompt. There's no doubling up on them in this particular readathon. So once you've done one, it's it. Gotta move on to the next. Along with just reading and having the points add and subtract, there are going to be some bonus challenges that are on Jake's Discord, so definitely check that out if you're interested in joining this readathon. Like I said, I'll have the link to Jake's Discord down below. I'll also have links to everyone's booktube channels. You should check them all out. They're great people, they're great reviewers. So now that that's out of the way, let's get into the TBR because mine's a little bit long. I've picked books for every prompt so I can be prepared. So I'm going to start with my team, which is the Beatles. And because I have a terrible memory, I'm just going to read the prompts off of my phone. The first one is Hey Jude, a book with a male character name in the book series or title. So my pick was Strange the Dreamer, which doesn't really sound like a name, but Strange is the last name of our main character. His name is Laszlo Strange. Oh, I'm not going to do plot explanations unless I feel it really needs it, because that's just going to add too much time, guys. Next prompt is Come Together, a book featuring a group of friends working together. For that, I picked Brandon Sanderson's Starsight, the second book in the Skyward series. Now, this has a group of friends and sometimes frenemies being a flight team together, and so that's how it connects to this prompt. Our third one is Yesterday, which is a book featuring a character's written account of their own story. And that actually is going to be the brand new Brandon Sanderson book that just came out today, The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. It's written as a personal account, and I'm just so excited to read this. I've already downloaded it. I'm ready. It's going to start today. Next prompt is Help, and that's a poll pick. So on the Discord, you're going to put a poll up with usually 4 books for people to choose from. And so our, community on the Discord will help you decide which book that you're going to read. Now, my poll is not finished yet, so I don't have a book for this particular prompt, but I will by the end of the day. Now, the last prompt for the Beatles is Magical Mystery Tour, and that is a fantasy book with a mystery element. Now, I have 2 of them because I couldn't decide. Now, both of these have very similar themes, actually. In The Bone Orchard, we have a woman who is a concubine to the king, and she is tasked with figuring out who is going to murder him. And in this book, The Counselor by E.J. Beaton, the queen has been murdered, and her trusted advisor is basically asked to figure out who murdered her. And so I don't really know which one. I'm a mood reader, so I'll pick when, the time comes. Moving on to the next band, I'm going to go to Led Zeppelin. The first one for Led Zeppelin is Stairway to Heaven, a book that has stairs on the cover or in the title. Now, let me tell you, I had to scour my bookshelves for a book that had this on it. I can't believe that I have one. Actually, I have two. But I'm going to be reading The Slow Regard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss, which is the novella that goes along with his Kingkiller Chronicles. And I actually really enjoyed this book the first time I read it. I haven't read it in quite a few years, though, because I took a peek as soon as it came out because I didn't know we'd be waiting forever for The Doors of Stone. So this is the one that I'm going to be picking, and thankfully, it has just over 150 pages. Second prompt is Immigrant Song, a book by an author who immigrated to another country or whose parents did. For that, I picked A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Lin. Judy Lin immigrated from Taiwan to Canada when she was a child, so this fits that bill, and I'm really excited to read this one because it sounds so much fun. I know I said I wouldn't describe them, but this has tea magic in it. Like, I'm gonna go have a tea party, tea magic. Also, the book is just beautiful and just, it's so pretty. So I'm excited to read this one. Extra excited. The third prompt is Dazed and Confused, a book featuring the amnesia trope. Which one did I pick for this? Crap. So I didn't really know what to pick because I don't usually read books that have the amnesia trope in them, but I'm going to go old school with this one with Roger Zelazny and read the first book in the Amber Chronicles series. And so the 9 Princes in Amber. The first one is rather short, but it does come in at just above 150 pages, and I've kind of been looking at this series for a while. I feel like I'm in the mood for something like old school, so that's my pick for this one. Over the Hills and Far Away, a book with an older protagonist. Now, I have been excited for this book. It's called Burning Roses. It is a novella that also just clocks in just above 150 pages, and it involves 2 like middle-aged women who were warriors earlier in their life, and they kind of get called back into action. It also has some fairy tale elements to it, because these women were part of fairy tale worlds that we might be accustomed to hearing about. It said that it's a blend of Chinese and European folk stories, so this just looks really fun, and you almost never get, books that center around middle-aged women, so this is going to be, just a change of pace. I'm looking forward to it. And then my last prompt for Led Zeppelin is Trampled Underfoot, a lesser-known book by a popular author. Now, if you know me by now, if I have to pick a popular author for anything, I'm going to pick my favorite author, and that is going to be Brandon Sanderson. This is already the second Brandon Sanderson book in this list. This is The Arithmetist, which is actually one of his middle grade novels. Middle grade or YA? It might be like on the young end of YA. I can't remember. But it's not a Cosmere novel. It's not part of the Cytoverse. This is a standalone book that has to do with chalk magic, and it's going to be so cool. The third band I'm going to be checking out is going to be Queen, and I love Queen. I may love Queen a little bit more than the Beatles, but don't tell my team. The first prompt is We Will Rock You / We Are the Champions, and that's going to be a book with an already accomplished or successful character. And I feel like this book not only has the right trope in it, but it also just fits with the theme, and that is Kings of the Wild. So this one I've been waiting to read for a long time. I was gifted this by my friend Brett. Thank you so much. And I'm just ready to read about these crazy warriors getting the band back together. I heard it's hilarious. So yeah, this just really fits the bill. It's supposed to be like a rock and roll type rough and tumble book. Next prompt, Bohemian Rhapsody, a book about a character who refuses to conform to society. I love that prompt so much. It just works so well. Bohemian Rhapsody is one of my favorite songs. I know that's kind of not really original, but I don't really care. My pick is going to be the first book in the Dark Elf trilogy, which is called Homeland, and it's by R.A. Salvatore. It's the origin story of Drizzt Do'Urden. So if you have read any of the Forgotten Realms books, you will be familiar with this character and understand exactly why he doesn't conform to society. I'm really excited. I'm going to be buddy reading this with my boyfriend, so it's going to be extra fun for me. The next prompt is Another One Bites the Dust. I just want to sing all of these. Another One Bites the Dust. A book featuring a serial killer / multiple deaths. The book I picked for this one is The Least of My Scars by Stephen Graham Jones. I know Evie will be very excited that I'm going to be reading this. I've kind of been circling it for a while because I'm not a huge horror fan, and I know that Stephen Graham Jones books are all in the horror genre, so I'm a little nervous, but we're inside the mind of a serial killer. And as a woman who watches way too much Criminal Minds, I think that this is going to be right up my alley. Under Pressure, a book that you've been pressured to read. Now, I've been pressured to read a lot of things because I promise a lot of things and then I have not lived up to my book reading promises. I will admit that. I apologize, especially to my friend Anita. But I picked a book that my friend P got me. Thank you so much. And I'm excited to read, and I know that he has been waiting for me to read this book so we can talk about it. And that is The Natural History of Dragons. And this is like a sciencey dragon book, which I'm so pumped for. You can see it's like anatomical drawings sort of stuff on the cover. So I think this series is going to be just perfect for me. And I just have a lot of people in my life who've been like, you need to read this book. And so I'm going to do it. The last prompt for Queen is Crazy Little Thing Called Love. And that's a book by an author that you love. And I picked not a Brandon Sanderson book, guys. Not a Sanderson book. You should be so proud of me. I really enjoy Pierce Brown. I don't know if you guys have read the Red Rising trilogy. If you have not, you definitely should. And then continue on to the second trilogy. We just got a release date for the third one. Well, actually, that's going to be a quartet. So, yeah. But the one I'm on is going to be Dark Age, which is the last one that is currently out. This is a very grimdark sci-fi book. There's a lot of political intrigue, and just this whole series has been incredible, and I've heard that this is one of the best ones so far. I've kind of been putting it off just because I didn't want to have a long wait before the next book comes out. But now that we have a date, I'm more open to reading it. So Dark Age is on this list. We'll see if I get there, but highly, highly recommend this series, especially if you like a blend of sort of fantasy and sci-fi, Hunger Games-esque sort of thing. The first book feels very much like that, and then it expands into more sci-fi. So definitely check out Red Rising. I will always plug that book. And then our last one is going to be AC/DC. And the first prompt for AC/DC is Highway to Hell, and that says a book featuring a villain's point of view. And so I'm going to be reading Heartless by Marissa Meyer, which is the origin story for the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. Now, I've heard that this book is going to like rip my soul out of my body and make me very sad, and it's going to be emotionally turbulent, but I'm here for it because that's why we read, isn't it? The next prompt is Back in Black, and that is a sequel or a reprinted edition with a mostly black cover. Guys, I just bought this book 2 days ago. I'm so excited. The Night Angel trilogy by Brent Weeks just got a reprint. They are beautiful. They're in the big floppy soft covers. And so I had previously had the mass market paperbacks, and one of my friends may have lost the middle book. So I needed a new set. And so this is The Way of Shadows by Brent Weeks. If you haven't read the Night Angel trilogy, highly, highly recommend. I really enjoy the magic system in this book. It is on the younger end of adult fantasy, so kind of borders on feeling a little YA-ish, but I really adored this series. I read it a long time ago, so it's about time for a reread. Then we have Thunderstruck. Oh, Thunderstruck. A book featuring an unlucky character. And when I think of unlucky characters, there is one character that is unlucky above them all. And not just unlucky, but he gets constantly shit on by every single thing in his life. And that would be Fitzchivalry Farseer. And I'm going to be reading Golden Fool. I have it on audiobook, so I'll be listening to it while I'm doing a lot of long drives that I have soon. And so I really love the audiobooks for these books. I'm not a huge audiobook person, but I find it easy to get sucked in with this particular audiobook author, speaker, performer. I don't know how you say it, but you know what I mean. I'm just ready to get back with Fitz. Actually, my cat I named after Fitz Chivalry Farseer, and I promised him that he would have a better life than Fitz does. TNT is the next one. Ugh, I just want to listen to all this music right now. I'm gonna make a playlist. I'll probably post it down below on for Spotify if you guys want to listen to it. Just like all the songs that go along with the prompts. I think that would be fun. A book featuring a character with magical fire abilities. This is another one I had trouble finding. I was like, fire? Do I even have that? And then I realized I had one book, one book with fire magic in it, and that is The Poppy War. And I can't really tell you how or why there's fire magic in it. I accidentally got that spoiled for me, so I know even though I haven't read it, but that doesn't really spoil anything for me. I'm more of a journey before destination kind of person. So I'm going to start this series if I get time. I know it can be really like dark, so I don't know if I'll be in the mood for it because I'm a mood reader, but we'll see. And the last book, the very last book and the very last prompt is Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. And that is a book involving bribery or blackmail. And I'm going to be checking out The Lies of Loch Lamora. Now, I started this book a long time ago, which is why I have a tab here. But it's been so long, I'm going to reread it from the beginning. But this one, Lies of Loch Lamora, I don't think I need to really describe it that much. It's about this boy, this orphan boy, who gets under the tutelage of this con artist and actually becomes a very famous con artist himself. And this is part of a series, the fourth one we're waiting to come out with. So I hope I really love this. I feel like I'm going to. It apparently has like an odd structure with like flashbacks and current time, and the way they do it's a little odd, but I'm here for it. So that's all the books on my TBR. I know this was a little bit of a longer video. I tried to talk fast, so we'll see if that worked. But I hope to see all of you guys in the readathon. Even if you can't read a whole ton of books, just come and join us on the Discord, chat with us. It's going to be really fun, and it's just a game. And games, it's a game where the points don't matter. In the end, all we want to do is have fun. Except for the points kind of do matter because, people want to win, but, whatever. So, have a wonderful day, guys. I will see you on Jake's Discord for the readathon. Come join me, be a part of Team Beatles, and we will have a great time. Please like, subscribe, comment. I would be ever so grateful, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!